Look at measuring weight. So in the metric system, weight is expressed in grams or kilograms. So 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. We also could do it in liters. So the way 1 liter is 1 cubic decimeter, a kilogram is 1 liter of water. Then we have another idea called mass. So mass is the amount of matter in an object, whereas weight is the force exerted on an object by gravity. So think about how in space there is no gravity. So that's why even though you might weigh, 150 pounds, you float out in space because your weight, that 150 pounds, is what's due to gravity. And like on the moon, if you walk on the moon, your weight is going to feel different because there's a different gravitational force on the moon. So, something to think about. All right, what's more reasonable for the weight of a newborn baby? 3.5 kilograms or 3.5 grams? Now, grams is a really small unit. Grams, I think of like food items. So for a baby, it's 3.5 kilograms. All right, what about a penny? So pennies are really small, so we're going to go with the really small unit. All right, which represents a reasonable value for the weight of a car. 1,300 grams, 130 kilograms, or 1,300 kilograms. So a car weighs a lot. So grams would probably not be one that's even on the radar. Kilograms are about 2.2 pounds, just about. So if we're getting a rough estimate of 130 kilograms in terms of pounds, it's going to be about 260 pounds. And that is too small for a car. So a car is going to have to be 1,300 kilograms. All right, a blue whale is the largest living mammal on Earth. What's a reasonable thing for its weight? So that's bigger than a car. So it wouldn't be these. It's going to have to be this. But MT is for metric ton. All right, and with weight, it's kind of like the volume. There's only one number to remember. We're either multiplying by 1,000 or dividing by 1,000. And if we're going 2 jumps, we have to do the conversion twice. So we want to go in this first example from kilograms all the way to milligrams. So that's 2 jumps. So I'm going to have to, I have that thought process backwards. We have it in milligrams and we want to go to kilograms, milligrams to kilograms. So we're going to go, either way, the jump is still twice. We're going to divide by 1,000 twice. So 24,300,000 divided by 1,000 twice, which is going to give 24.3 kilograms. How many kilograms are in 175,000 milligrams? So same thing, different number. 175,000 divided by 1,000 twice, which is going to give 0.175 kilograms. Or the average ostrich weighs approximately 127 kilograms. How many grams is that? Well, that's 1 jump and 127. And we're going from kilograms, which is a bigger unit, down to a smaller one. So we're going to multiply by 1,000. So that's 127,000 grams. The world's heaviest tomato weighs 4.869 kilograms. How much does it weigh in grams? So again, same process, different number. So multiply by 1,000, and we get 4,869 grams. How many milligrams are in 0.025 kilograms? So that's 2 jumps. So 0.025. And we're going from a bigger unit to a smaller one. So we're going to multiply by 1,000 twice to get 25,000 milligrams. How many milligrams are in 1.23 kilograms? So 1.23 kilograms going 2 jumps will give 1,230,000 milligrams. The maximum weight for a child to safely use a car seat is 29 kilograms. If a child weighs 23,700 grams, can they use the car seat? So we can go from grams to kilograms by dividing by 1,000. We get 23.7 kilograms. So this is the maximum weight. We are not yet 29, so we are good to use the car seat. All right, let's look at maybe some medicine. So the dosage recommendations for a popular brand of acetaminophen are listed below. What is the recommended dosage for a child who weighs this much grams? Well, all of these are in kilograms. So if I just divide the grams by 1,000, I get 17.683 kilograms. And now I can figure out which one it fits in. So 11 to 15, 17 is higher. 16 to 21, it fits into that one. So the recommended dosage would be 7.5 milliliters. All right, a recipe for scones calls for 350 grams of flour. How many kilograms of flour are required to make 4 batches of scones? So I would turn the 350 grams into kilograms. So that would be dividing that by 1,000, and I get 0.35 kilograms. Well, that's for one batch, and I want 4. So I'm going to multiply that by 4. And 0.35 times 4 is 1.4 kilograms. All right, and then last one here, we have the average tomato weighs 140 grams. A farmer needs to order boxes to pack and ship them to go to the grocery stores. They estimate that this year's harvest is going to yield 125,000 tomatoes. One box can hold 12 kilograms of tomatoes. How many boxes are I going to need? Well, I would turn 140 grams into kilograms. So that's going to be dividing by 1,000, and we get 0.14 kilograms. And then I'm going to multiply that by 125,000 tomatoes. So total, I'm going to have 17,500 kilograms of tomatoes. Well, the boxes are 12 kilograms each, so I'm going to divide that by 12. And that's going to give me 1,458.3 repeating. Well, I can't have part of a box, so I would round up and say 1,459 boxes is what we would need. Now, I'm sure the farmer is not going to sell like part of a box, but we still need that extra box to hold them. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.